Hey guys, today we're making my Lucky Clover bracelet, which is a loom design and it is another St. Patrick's Day design. There is some important information I need to give you, so please stick around for this intro. I first want to give a big thank you and shout out to my girl Shantavia over on Instagram. She is known as Star Loves Loom 44, and she's the one that chose the perfect name for this design today. So one important thing I want to say is you have a couple options for this design. It takes 4 bars wide to create it, but you have either the extension version, which adds these 2 chains on it, or you can make a full-length one. But that's called the transfer method. Both of these pieces are initially made the exact same way. And then when you take it off, you can either go straight into adding these chains, or you can sit that piece to the side. We will lay it out again, reconnect it, and make a long one. And then lastly, if you want to just connect 2 sets of 4 together and lay it all out at once, you can also do that. I'll tell you how far down the loom to go if you want to do that option. So I don't have the exact band breakdown because I did make some changes last night, but I do want to say that you need to have 2 C-clips for the closure, and I will tell you which color I'm laying when I go to lay it. So to get started, we're going to have 4 bars set up aligned, have the openings facing away from you, and if you do want to use another set of 4, just connect it right in front of this one. We are all going to follow the same instructions unless I specifically tell you otherwise. So the first thing we're going to do is lay this glow border, and we are going to lay both borders at the same time. So drop a loose one on this right pin and on the left. We're now going to lay one going straight. Now we're going to come up to the next pin and we're going to drop a loose one again. Right on top of those same pins, we're going to lay 2 going straight. So there should be an empty space right here. And we are going to repeat this. We're going to drop a loose one and lay 2 and keep doing that down the loom. So this is where I left off. Come up to the next one and drop a loose one. And then lay 2 going straight. You are going to be laying the last band on the 12th pin, which will be a loose one. If you're using 2 loom setups, your last loose one will be laid on the 24th pin. But this loose one right here should be the very last one that any of us lay. Go through and push them down, and we're going to lay the next set. So now we're going to be laying these teal glitter bands. They come out from the center of the cap band and connect to the border. I normally like that band to match the border, but I wanted to go with just a little bit of a darker color so you guys can hopefully see it. These bands here are not all laid exactly the same way, even though they look the same on the bracelet in the end. But we're going to start on the corner pins and lay a long diagonal band like that. We're now going to skip the next pin and come up to the next one. So this is what the pattern is going to be that we're laying. Where that loose band is, we're going to lay a horizontal band going into the middle like that. And then we lay a diagonal one on the pin right after it. So those 4 bands right there complete one section. So to start the next one, we are going to locate the next pin that has that loose band on it, which is right here. And we're going to lay that horizontal band again. And then you lay the diagonal on the pin right after it. So once again, we completed another section. We're going to look for the next one with the loose band, and we'll lay the horizontal again, starting that section. We will finish off this section by laying the diagonal band right after it. If you're using 2 loom setups, you're going to keep repeating this down the loom. The very last band that either one of us should be laying will be a horizontal band, which is on the same pin that has the very last loose band. So this is what both of our looms should look like in the end. So now we're going to be laying the orangey band that's in here, and you do see it on the back side. So we're going to lay this in the shape of a square. So you can actually see where the diagonal and the horizontal meet up. It creates a square in the middle. That's where we're going to lay it. So it's the second row up. And you need to connect it to those 2, but also to the 2 above it, creating that square. You're going to skip the next row, Come up to the next one, and you can see we have all 4 of those teal bands, which is where we should be connecting this orange square. We're going to do that to each section, so skip the next one, come up to the next, and lay your square again. Have to do that one more time down here. If you're using one loom setup, there will be 4 of these squares. So push that down a little bit, and now we're going to choose the cat band color, which is the neon green. And we're going to be wrapping a regular cat band, so wrapping it 2 times around all 4 of these pins that have the square on it. So place it on your pin once, and then wrap it again. We all have our own method of adding a cat band, so however you find the easiest, but just wrap it 2 times around all 4, like so. Locate your next square and do the same thing. So I'm going to hop off and get all of my cat bands on. You go ahead and do the same, and then I'll show you mine when I'm done. So once you have all your cat bands on, this is what it looks like. I did already push mine down. You should do the same. And now we're going to lay one more layer in that same area, which is going to now be this dark green, my limited edition band. And we're going to be laying that as a square as well, right on top of where we laid the cat bands and the orange. So come up to your first section, and we're going to lay it the same way we did the orange, wrapping it around all 4 pins like that. Come up to your next square and lay it right on top. So get all of these laid. So once you have all of your squares on, you may want to push them down a little bit. You don't have to go pushing down too much, but we are going to temporarily turn our loom around and do some hooking steps, and then we'll end up laying more bands in a little bit. So we have to work on each one of these pins that have the cat bands on it. You may be familiar with the inverted fishtail stitch. That inverted stitch is what we need to do on each 4 of those pins. So our goal is to go inside the cat band and grab the orange. You want to make sure you're staying in front of this green one though. So I use my hook to kind of push the green in, but enough to use the back of my hook to push the cat band out like that. Then you're going to reach in and grab the 3rd band, which is that orange, pull it up, flip it over the pin and let it go like that. It sits on the inside. We have to do that on all 4. So the front 2 are the easier ones because we have the opening. But again, I'm going to stay on the outside of the top band, use my hook to push the cat band out, grab the 3rd band, bring it up and over, and release it on the inside. For the top 2 pins, it's a little harder because you have to kind of do it from the side. So you're going to use your hook to push the green band in enough to where you can push the cat band out. Grab the 3rd band, which is that same orange, and flip it over. We have to do that on all of the sections with these cat bands. Make sure you get all 4 done like that, and then we can move on to the next square. So we're going to repeat it, and it doesn't matter which order you do this part, just make sure you're going inside the cat band to grab the bottom orange band. It's actually not the very bottom band, it's the 3rd band. We're going to repeat that on all of these. Just make sure you don't forget any because it will not come out correctly if you don't get all 4 sections done. So go ahead and get all of these completed, and then I will show you what mine looks like when I am done. So hit that pause button until you're caught up. I did go through and push my center squares down once I was all done looping them. And now we're going to be looping the very bottom band that's on all 4 of the center square pins, which are going to be these horizontals and also the diagonals. Each section has 4 bands that we're looping out. So we're going to start in the very bottom one. We're just going to go into the pin that has the cat band, grab the very bottom band, and it just gets looped back to itself. So the horizontal ones just get looped out left to right, and then the top ones that have the diagonal bands just get looped diagonally back to themselves. It's the very bottom band on all 4 of those pins like that. We're going to do that to each one. So come up to where your next square is and loop those 4 out back to themselves. repeat that for each section. I'm going to get all of mine looped out, and then I will meet you guys back here. When you do get caught up, you're going to want to push down all of the bands that we just looped back to themselves. So go down the sides, push them all down, because now we need to start adding triple cap bands. You can still keep your loom facing yourself, but we're going to start adding these cap bands here. I like to match it to that color there, but you don't have to. So again, these are triple cap bands, and we're going to be laying them on the side bars directly on top of the bands that we looped diagonally outwards. So I'm going to come over here. If I count up from where my last set of bands are, if my finger's here, I'm going to count up 2, and that's where my first one will go. Like I said, it just goes right on top of where the diagonal bands were looped. Do that to both sides. Wrap it 3 times. Like that. You're going to come up and locate your next diagonal bands, which are right here, and apply a triple cap band on top of those. So you're going to lay that on top of every one, and then I'll meet you back here and show you mine. Alrighty, so once you do have them all done, there should be 2 empty pins in between each triple cap band. So that's a way that you can just double check, make sure you laid them on the correct ones. So now you're going to want to turn your loom around and have the arrows or openings facing away from you. I find it to make things easier. You will want to push your triple cap bands down a little bit. It doesn't have to be super pushed down, but we have to lay a band right on top of those same pins. So we are now going to grab some more bands of whatever border color you used right here, my glow green. And we're going to lay these bands right on top of the pin that has the cap band and connect it also to the pin in front of it. So here's my first one. I'm just going to lay it there and connect it to the pin above. We'll go ahead and just do the right side first. Locate your next cap band. That's where you're going to start laying the band, and then also connect it to the pin in front. It might seem strange right now, but there's a reason we're doing this. Locating my next cap band, laying a band right on top, and one more. You're going to come over to the left side and do the same thing. So after you have them all laid on there, you're going to want to push the front of the band down a little bit. Not the part of the band that has the cap band, but the front part of it. Just a little bit, because we now need to reconnect the loose bands that we laid there earlier. Turn your loom around so the openings are facing you again. I find it easier to do it from this direction. You can use your hook or your fingers. I'm going to do the left side first, but we're just going to locate this loose band that's down here, and we're going to connect it to the pin above it. So I'm just going to use my hook and grab a hold of that band, pull it up, and connect it to the pin above it like that. Locate your next loose one, which is right here. Grab a hold of it, pull it up, and connect. We're going to do that to each one, and we're going to do that on both sides. There was another way to do this, but the bands kept getting tangled if I had you guys lay it with at the same time we were laying the border. So this was the easiest way to keep the bands in the order they're supposed to be in. So hopefully it's not challenging. Once you have them all connected like that, we're going to keep our loom facing this direction, and we're going to now start looping those borders. So we're going to loop the left side first, just so I can show you guys. So we're going to start on this bottom left pin. We do not need to add a cap band or anything. When we close the bracelet at the end, this band here is what we're going to connect it to. So starting on the left pin here, we're going to go into this first pin and grab the very bottom band. We're going to loop it up. Now we're on the pin that has 2 of those layers on there. So when you reach into the little cap band that you just made, grab the first band that's in there. It's this band right here. Loop it forward. And you can see that the cap band is sitting under that one right here. We need to grab that triple cap band and flip it over onto that band that we just looped there. Make sure you're not grabbing any of these bands underneath. Make sure you're only grabbing that triple cap band. Carefully bring it up and over so it sits on the band like that. Push the cap band back a little bit. This part may be very strange. We are going to grab this band right here with our hook. You're going to pop it off of the pin. And then you're going to do that one more time. So you're releasing it from two of the pins. And now the bands that we have on our hook, we're going to connect back onto this pin right here. So to do that, I use both hands. I open that band up and reconnect it. Just make sure you get both of those bands reconnected like that. So we're going to repeat that. We're going to go down into this pin that we left off on. Grab the very bottom band, loop it up. We're going to grab the very bottom band again and loop it up. And one more time. So 3 times. And now we are at the pin that has the double layer. So you're going to go in here and grab the top straight band, loop it up. And now we need to flip that triple cap band over. Like that. We're going to grab that loop that's on this pin right here. It's the same loop that has the cap band on it. You're going to pop it off of the pin and pop the second one off like that. We're going to open this band up and reconnect it. Sorry, my focus is out. And reconnect it onto that pin right there. We're going to repeat that. So we're going to be grabbing the bottom band and looping it forward. We're going to do that same process 3 times. So bottom band, loop it up once. Grab the bottom band, loop it up twice. Grab the bottom band, loop it up 3 times. Once again, we're going to grab the top band that's in there and loop it up. That's where we got to flip the triple cap band. We're going to get this loop right here on our hook. Pop it off that pin and pop it off the next one. We're going to reattach these bands onto that pin. Every time I go to do it, it blurs out. There we go. And we're going to do that one more time for this part. So we're going to loop the bottom band up 3 times. After you loop it up 3 times, we're going to do that step again where we loop the top band forward and flip the cap band. Grab a hold of that top loop like we were doing before. Remove it off 2 of the pins and reattach it to the one closest to it. Before we finish off this side, we have to grab the very bottom band in this pin and loop it up, connecting it to the top like so. So you guys have to do that exact same process on the right side. When you guys get that done and you're at the top and you reconnect that last one with the cap band, don't forget to loop that last one straight. We don't want anything falling apart. This is where you're going to want to grab both of your C-clips. We're going to grab these loose bands on both corners. We're going to reach down in there, grab the other end, bring both ends together, and we're going to be temporarily C-clipping it, whether you are going to add extension chains or if you're going to lay everything out again, reattach it and loop it up for the transfer method. You're going to temporarily C-clip it either way. So we're going to be using our hook to remove this from the loom. So once you take it off of the loom, you have to decide if you're going to continue and make the transfer method or if you're going to finish off by adding on the fishtail or single chain extensions. If you're doing the transfer method, I have important times on my screen. There's going to be a start time and a stop time. So you're going to rewind it, pick up at the start time. Make sure you stop following my instructions at the time that I have listed for the stop time. Once you get to the stop time, you have to fast forward it to the time down here. And that's going to bring you to the point where my loom and your loom looks identical and we're ready to reattach this piece. Because basically you have to redo everything we've already done and then we can reconnect the piece on together. So for the extension version, you can do either fishtails or single chains. I do have a video showing how to do both versions, but keep in mind I only do 1 chain, whereas for this design you have to do it 2 times, so you have 2 chains. You're just going to connect this little loop right here onto either the loom or onto the auto loom. Again, I'm going to have a video, one in the eye above, which is using the auto loom, and then one in the description box below, which uses the loom. So if you do need help doing that, go ahead and watch that. All right, so if you're doing the transfer method, you should be back at this point with me. We should all be at the same point. We just reattached those loose bands, and our looms should look like this. So now we are almost ready to reattach our first piece. So before we do that, we do need to rearrange something really quick. So have your openings facing yourself, come down to the beginning of the loom, and the last bands that we looped outwards were the horizontal bands right here. We have these 2 loops right here. We need to pick them up, and we're just going to move them up here to the pin above it. Make sure you're moving both of them, and do the same on the left side. We temporarily just need to get them out of our way. Once you do that, we're going to grab our bracelet. Make sure the bracelet is still facing upwards. This is up. The back side kind of caves inwards, so you should be able to easily identify it. So with the bracelet facing up, we're going to reconnect each chain. The C-clip goes through that chain. That left one is going to connect onto the left side, which is the second pin up, and then the right one will connect to the second one up on the right. So we'll do the left one first. I like to just pull on that C-clip to open up that chain. The most important thing is making sure both of these loops get put back on. So open it up like this and wrap both loops around that pin. So we need to do the same thing on the right side. So we're going to grab that C-clip. I like to stretch it so I can see down into the loop and stretch it over like that. Make sure both loops are on both sides. Push it down, and if you can see mine's kind of jammed in there, but if you can fit the bracelet in between the 2 middle ones, just kind of smush it down in there and get it out of your way. That's fine too, because we're already done looping in the middle. Once you do that, we need to remove the C-clips on both of these. It usually takes me a minute to get them off, so I may hop off and remove them. All right, I got my C-clips off. Now we're going to grab our hook, and we're going to grab the top band right here from the bands that we just added on. Grab just the top one and bring it down here to the pin below it. Do the same on this one. I like to actually do it turning my loom, grabbing the top, and then opening it like that, so I open it in the correct direction. And now we need to move those bands right here back to where they were originally. So these diagonal bands right here on the 3rd pin up, you're going to grab it. There's 2 bands there, remember, and just bring them down to the pin below and reconnect them there. Do the same right here. Move it down below. Once you have them connected back on, push them down. We're going to grab this band that we set here temporarily and move it back up to the pin above like that. Do the same on the left side. So once you do that, we are ready to loop it up the same way we did the first time. That part right there was the only difference. So I'll go ahead and start the left side with you. We're going to grab the bottom band and loop it up. And now this is where we have both of those bands. So you're only grabbing the top one, looping it straight, flipping the triple cap band over carefully. Remember, we need to grab that chain, pop it off once, pop the second one off, then you're going to open the chain up that's on your hook and reattach it to the pin closest to it. From there, we're going to alternate looping up the bottom band 3 times. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And now we need to loop the top chain band in there, loop that forward, flip over your triple cap band. Sometimes it's hard to get that thing over. And we're going to grab the chain and pop it off 2 pins, open it up, and reconnect it. Once you guys do get to the very top, we're just going to grab those loose ones, go inside the top pin, bring both ends together, and we're going to be C-clipping both of these. So once you do have it off of the loom, you're going to notice the bottom of mine looks a lot neater, and that's because my cap band's already fixed from the first piece that I made. But you're going to have the C-clips to the left. You're going to grab a hold of your cap band, and we need to move it up to the chain above it. So just squeeze right under the cap band, grab the cap band, pull it up 1. You'll feel it when it goes over that bump. You just have to move it up 1 slot. Make sure you do that to each one of them. because what it does is centers the cap band to be in the very center of the square. So to do the left side, you can turn it like this. Make sure the C-clip is still at the top to the left. Grab your cap band and pull it up one chain. To C-clip it off, you're just going to come down to the very bottom down here, and you're going to see this little chain. It's not the glow green, it's the glitter one right here. You're going to grab the front and the back right here, and that is what you're going to attach your C-clip to. Like that, and then you're going to do the same to the other side. Like so. All right, you guys, there we have my completed Lucky Clover bracelet. I feel like this was a very long video. If you guys do make one, don't forget to tag me. I also want to give another thank you and shout out to Shantavia. Thank you for the name suggestion. I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you very soon in my next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.